Hello, everyone. I am Jade Ullrich, a clinical dietitian here at KSB Hospital, and thank you for tuning in for this nutrition presentation on holiday gatherings, food safety. So first, we'll start off with hand washing. So hand washing may be obvious, but it's a very important step prior to preparing food for yourself and especially for others. So here are the important times to wash your hands. So before, during, and after preparing food. So for during food preparation, this would be when you are switching between different food items or dishes, and especially when switching from raw meat, poultry, or seafood to any other food. It's also important to wash your hands before and after eating, after using the toilet, after touching an animal, animal food, or animal waste, after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing, and after touching garbage or dirty surfaces. So next are the 5 steps of hand washing. First, wet your hands with clean running water, and either warm or cold water is okay. Next, lather your hands by rubbing them together with soap. Make sure to lather the backs of your hands, between your fingers, and under your nails. And you want to make sure to scrub your hands for at least 20 seconds. And if you need a timer, hum the happy birthday song from beginning to end twice. Then next, rinse your hands well under clean running water. And lastly, dry your hands with a clean towel or air dry them. Next, we'll talk about food safety and food allergies. So here are a few food safety tips when preparing food for a family member or friend with food allergies. So first, it's always important to ask family members and friends that you will be sharing holiday food with about what food allergies they have. So the top 9 food allergies include milk, eggs, wheat, shellfish, peanuts, tree nuts, soy, and sesame. But there are also many other foods that people can be allergic to. So if a food item containing the allergen touches another food item, cross-contact can occur. And cross-contact is when one food comes in contact with another food and their proteins mix. So even a trace of a food allergen can trigger a severe reaction. So this is why it is very important to prepare food for a person with food allergies separately from other foods, and to always be sure to wash your hands and cooking equipment and utensils before preparing that food. And also, sanitizing does not remove allergens, only washing with soap and water can remove the allergens. You also want to be sure to label which foods are which so that those with allergies know which foods are safe for them to eat and which foods they need to avoid. And lastly, here are some other general food safety tips. Defrost carefully. So never defrost foods at room temperature, on the counter, or in warm water. Defrost food only in the refrigerator, in the microwave, or in a cool water bath with water that is changed every 30 minutes. When defrosting food in the refrigerator, remember to cover raw meat, poultry, or seafood and place it on the bottom shelf so juices won't drip onto other foods. And when defrosting the microwave, cook it immediately afterwards. You should also use 2 cutting boards, one for raw meat, poultry, and seafood, and another for ready-to-eat foods or fruits and vegetables. You always want to use clean utensil for tasting foods. And when baking, avoid eating foods containing raw eggs or uncooked flour, such as cookie dough or cake batter. These ingredients may contain bacteria that can lead to food poisoning if not cooked first. And it's also important to buy and use a food thermometer. It is the only reliable way to determine the doneness of your food and ensure that the food is cooked to the proper internal temperature. You cannot tell just by looking at the color or texture if a food is fully cooked. For example, turkey should be cooked to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. And I have included a chart on safe minimum internal temperature of cooking, which will be linked in the description of the video. And lastly, refrigerate food within 2 hours of serving. This helps prevent the growth of harmful bacteria that can lead to food poisoning. You'll need to throw away all perishable foods that have been left out in room temperature for more than 2 hours. Thank you so much for joining me for this presentation on holiday gatherings, food safety. I hope you learned a little more about hand washing, food safety with food allergies, and other general food safety tips. So be sure to check out the chart on safe minimum internal temperatures of cooking in the description of this video. Thank you and have a good night and have a happy holiday season.